Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tim, and welcome to Tim Talks Live. Take two on the intro. We have our friend with us today, Marcus LaPorte, the art director over at Rooster Teeth, and we're going to play a little bit of Drawful with him today. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Sounds fun.
Yeah, man, we're going to get this going here in just a second. Everybody should be able to see everything. Let me pull up my own little window here. We actually have changed things around a little bit in the stream for those who are watching. I added in the Twitch chat into the actual video. You'll be able to see it right down here. I figured it was rather dull, just me talking to myself, basically, and you couldn't really see what the prompts that I was responding to. So I figured out a way to make XSplit do the fancy thing that it does and allow me to see everything that you see. So this should be kind of fun. Let's see. Now, with that being said, let's drawful this thing up. Nope, that works. Pass it again. Close that out there. So, while this gets loaded up and while we get some people in here, our room code is JWQR. And if you have any questions for our guest, by all means, please type them into chat. We'll be responding to those all night. But to get things off, let's go ahead and do one of my own. Marcus, tell us a little bit about how you got started in the biz. How did you get to where you are now? Well, sorry, I kind of skipped ahead a step. Give us a CV of what you do.
Okay. Basically, I create the visual language for a film or a television show or a video shoot in general. I basically come up with the concept design, the palettes, the colors, the set pieces, the furniture, virtually everything that you see on camera besides the actors.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
So I always have problems when I interview somebody that I'm very close to or that I work with because I try and keep the illusion that there's some sort of separation between host and guest. But in this case, it's going to be really difficult. So I'm just going to go ahead and come out and say, Marcus and I actually have a working relationship. We've been working together for the last year or so on a bunch of different RT productions. And so a lot of these questions are going to be very kind of insider knowledge. We're going to try and get to some of the deeper things that you may really want to know. So you and I have been working together since basically iBlade. That was the first thing that RT brought you on, yeah?
Correct. Yeah, iBlade was the first thing we did. I consulted with them for Laser Team before we did that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but we hadn't gotten that far yet. So they were kind of testing me out on some other productions to just kind of see whether I even fit well with the company and such like that. So we started out on iBlade, and then we did, oh God, what else did we do? We did some Day 5 stuff. Mm-hmm. And then after that, they just kind of felt like I was a good fit, and they asked me if I wanted to come on and finish Laser Team out. But initially, my first involvement with them was really just doing some sketching and some concept designing for some, it was like an unknown project. They wouldn't even tell me what it was then. So.
And so for iBlade, you did a lot of the props work, a lot of the art direction, a lot of the set design that went into making a office into this kind of Game of Thronesy office.
Correct. Yeah, and it's interesting about that project is I wanted to go the other direction than what Josh and Chris did initially. I wanted to shoot at like a medieval style location that instead had office stuff incorporated, but they were really big on this being an office space with the medieval stuff in it. So I was like, well, okay. So that's kind of the direction we went for it, and it was a difficult project. I'm not gonna lie. That one was hard. We needed a lot of set dressing.
Yeah.
And that was some hard work.
It really was. I mean, but we really ended up making some cool things. I really love some of the creative solutions that we come up with, like the dragon that was basically just a fog machine and a light.
Pretty much, yeah. It was a lighting effect and a smoke effect, and you just try to get creative, like you said. It's just like, well, what can we really do? We know we can't have a digital dragon. We know we can't have a a practical fabricated dragon. So we just were kind of going off classic sort of slapstick humor techniques, which are just sort of it's just off screen. you know.
Yeah, exactly. And like, is that something that you've kind of picked up as you've done other, like your Rooster Teeth was obviously not your first foray into the entertainment biz. Is that kind of add-on creative solution style something that you've developed over time?
Oh, sure. Yeah. I mean, I did plenty of low budget projects before I got to do feature films and bigger commercial art direction. So, yeah, I spent a lot of years sort of coming up with low cost solutions to things that are traditionally very complex. So you just try to, you look at your budget as realistically as you can, and you try to make an assessment of what you can really pull off, and then you sink your money there.
Well, it's really it's been really neat to witness firsthand. What are some of the other things that you've been able to, like before Rooster Teeth? What have you done before then?
Sure. Before Rooster Teeth, I worked for Robert Rodriguez. I did most of those movies. I started out with Spy Kids 2 as my first movie, and I started out as a production assistant. Which, for any of you who are interested in getting into the industry, that's pretty much how to get in. And for the most part, uh-oh, I've got to draw.
Yeah, we're into the drawing phase.
We'll
The
come back
game
to
has
this.
started.
Okay, give me a sec here, and I got to draw. Let's see.
Hey, I'm trying to draw quickly, expediently, and at the same time actually have it make some kind of damn sense. And I think that's exactly the point of this game.
Man, this game is so hard because they're really specific titles. I don't really know how I'm going to draw this, so hopefully, yeah.
Those are always the best. But then again, it's literally called Drawful for a reason. I had the pleasure of having Arnie Niekamp, one of the writers and developers of this game, on the show, and that was a really interesting talk with him, trying to go through the psychological aspects of drawing shitty drawings and having all of your friends look down on you because of it.
Oh man, mine is horrible. I mean, I'm speechless. It's terrible.
And you draw things for a living.
It's so hard to draw on a phone. I got like 3 inches by 2 inches. This
It's
is
true.
ridiculous.
I am kind of cheating. I'm using my computer and mouse.
Oh man, maybe I should switch. I may have to switch to. I tried to use the iPad, but my web sockets
That'll do.
apparently are not supported on that browser. So,
Really?
oh well. Yeah, I gave up. Phone will be fine. Oh geez. Yeah, you guys are in for a real horrible treat today with this drawing.
Well, we're waiting on 2 more to come on in.
Oh jeez. Okay. I really don't know how this drawing would ever evoke what they've asked me to draw.
It's okay. Last 2 weeks ago, I had the drops of Jupiter by train, and I drew this very elaborate thing, and nobody got it. So don't
No,
worry.
listen, I almost got that, but I was like, that's not Jupiter. That can't be Jupiter. It's totally Jupiter. You did good.
Somebody didn't make it in. It may have been.
Well,
Was it you?
it might be me.
I don't know. It happens. Sometimes the Drawful does have that drawback of, like, sometimes the servers don't quite catch up in time.
I don't. Well, it asked me. Oh, I don't know if it did. Well, either way, you guys will laugh at me all the same.
So anyway, getting back to what we were discussing earlier, what your career before actually joining our team?
Man, what is that? It looks like Pac-Man and a Christmas tree.
Oh wait, no, that's a person. That other person is eating. You see the crossed eyes there?
Oh.
Oh. And then the Christmas tree. I don't know. This is a little dark.
It's very dark. Okay, so
Put in a lie. There we are.
I got something. I entered a title. It's not gonna win, but
Hey, winning is not necessarily the answer. You can go for best likes too. Most
yeah,
likes.
that is totally a person being eaten.
I know which one I'm gonna go for.
Maybe it's not. Oh, of course.
Yep.
Either that or someone has a really good. really good.
imagination.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either way, they win in my book.
Or they they noticed the person before we did.
I wish I'd gotten that one. That one's a little more straightforward than mine. Mine was emotion based, and so I didn't know how I was supposed to do that.
Fruitcake. I feel like that may be insulting to the person getting eaten. Nope, that one, I picked yours. Damn.
Nice.
Good
So
job.
yeah, so while this is going on, yeah, basically I worked for Robert Rodriguez for about a decade, and I worked in the prop shop there, and I basically made me and probably 4 or 5 other people.
Well, you made $2,500 off that last round.
I did. Wow, how'd I do that? I guess Cannibal Christmas is almost Christmas Sacrifice, so
Yeah.
pretty close.
Worked with Rodriguez for a decade.
Yes, I worked for Rodriguez for a decade, and I just got to a point where I had to move on. You know, it's like you reach a point where you're either going to displace someone else, and I just didn't want to do that, so I kind of decided to just start doing my own art direction.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, it was a little scary at first, but the payoff was that I was in a much better position and got to do what I really wanted to do.
And so that kind of involves going a little bit more freelance.
Did. Yeah, and then I spent about 6 years being a freelancer where I pretty much, you know, it really means just that. I'm all by myself. I don't work for anyone. And while that sounds really cool, it was incredibly stressful and you know, scary
Yeah.
times. You know, money comes and goes. You know how this goes, Tim.
Exactly. No, it can be very, very plentiful for a period of time, and then for like 6 to 8 months, there is nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, just nothing.
Yeah,
And
it really is feast or famine. That's so true.
And while you want to pursue it as hard as you absolutely can, it can be kind of daunting. I think those are some of the hurdles that when people talk about, you know, when they're writing their memoirs and they're like, oh, somehow it just magically happened. These are the things that they are conveniently forgetting to mention. The hard times,
Yeah, it was very hard for a long, long time. I, you know, multiple times was ready to stop and was like, I'm never doing this again. This is too much stress. We don't have enough money, you know.
That being said, I did the 9 to 5 for 2 years and felt like I couldn't do it anymore. I cannot thrive in that kind of environment.
Yeah, I definitely don't. I don't like being at a desk really. You know, even at Rooster Teeth now, I have like a little office and a desk and stuff, and that's that's kind of out of my norm. You know,
Right.
I'm used to working in a shop, you know, with tools and you know.
Where you have some
scanners.
grazing space.
Yeah, exactly.
What are you, in some sort of zoo?
Man, what is that?
You know,
It's,
I was gonna say exactly what I put down. Then I was like, no, that's probably not a good idea because I want to win this game. So let's not go ahead and just give away
you
my
don't have-
answer.
yeah, no, I'm thinking aloud here. It's broken. Oh, never mind. All right.
Yes.
Putting response. There we go.
Stomped on glasses.
It's funny you mentioned that. Oh, I don't know if that's the real one, but I like that one. I'm not going to say which. Yeah, you can probably guess.
Oh, yeah.
What it is.
Oh, I went with key airplane snail circles. That shit, I think that was the best one. Screw it. And so now that you've been working with them for a little bit, you worked on a lot of the other productions that have been kind of over the period of time. You were working on Laser Team when they were doing 10 Little Roosters, and you were working on this thing while they were doing that other thing. You're kind of getting pulled in all these different directions. That's got to be an interesting feeling.
Yeah, it's you know, even typically when I do commercial art direction, we would.
Oh my God! It was the actual title.
Oh wow!
Wow.
Yeah, let's see. Maybe I got some points here. Yay!
Sorry, yeah, getting pulled.
Yeah, it getting pulled around is a little bit of a new thing, but commercial art direction, we typically will do 5 and 6 commercials at a time, so we'll do a lot of spots. So I'm used to kind of managing 4 to 5 little things. So it's really similar actually. So not so bad.
Damn my not inability to spell. There we go. Oh God, I forgot what I was gonna say. I was so busy trying to figure out exactly how to word what the hell this is.
Yeah, no, me too.
I mean, it's actually a really great picture if it is what I think it is, but I don't know.
It looks, well, I guess I can't really comment or I'm gonna give stuff away, but it looks like someone running up the side of a building and slam dunking.
Okay, now that all the guesses are in, I was thinking it.
Oh, of course.
Oh, nope. That's a really good one.
Oh no, my stylus slipped. I picked the wrong one. I'm definitely losing on this one.
I love when that happens. I definitely thought it was the getting a photo taken at a DMV or something. But that being said, the red carpet interview, that's probably it.
Yeah, they got lucky that it's kind of pink. Otherwise, if it had been green, no one would ever have gotten that.
Yeah. Although that being said, drawing pink on pink for the people on the carpet, that would be a little difficult.
Oh yeah, you got points from me because my stylus slipped. If that's
Thank
yours.
you kindly. Yes,
Yep,
it was.
Joker.
And there it is. But yeah, so getting pulled in multiple directions is probably a very new feeling, and but it's the dream though. Like, it's really interesting to be working at a company that does what you want to do on a regular basis. So it gives you the stability of a regular job, and yet the creative freedom that everything in the entertainment business brings with it.
Agreed. Yeah. No, I mean, it's when you're a freelancer, you want more work all the time. So these guys have it all the time.
Yeah.
So we got it.
Yeah. And so you were working this weekend on the South by Southwest live stream that actually was going on earlier today.
Yes. They have some things that I can't details here that I can't tell you about. But yes,
yeah.
we have multiple things happening this weekend. Quite a few shoots, quite a few streams. We did a couple of what is that?
That's mine. And again, I apologize, but
no, it's let's see. Okay,
it'll make sense. I swear it will.
This is just the kind of thing that this game does. It puts two unrelated words together sometimes, and you're like, what?
Somebody got it dead on and had to redo their guess.
Oh.
Because you see how there are two that are pretty much the same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think yeah. You can only guess what mine is.
That being said, Risk would be a great one. I haven't played that game in forever. Then again, I played a lot more like Stratego. Did you play board games when you were a kid?
Oh yeah, definitely. It started out with Candyland with Nana, of course, and then it just expanded from there. So.
Yeah. There it is. Everybody got it. Thank you for 3,000 freaking points.
Yeah, that was a good one. Yours was easy.
Yeah. What can I say? Sometimes I luck out.
I know I could have drawn that. Let's see if let's see if anyone gives me any style points for my square trampoline.
Nope.
Nope.
All right, second drawing here.
Uh-oh, second drawing.
Yep.
Okay.
Because we only had 6 people. Oh, I know exactly what I'm going to draw for this one. Perfect. Done. 3 little doodles, and you've got the perfect drawing for whatever this thing is that they gave me to draw. What can I say? Right. I lucked out again.
All right, I hope it made it in. Oh, my last drawing didn't make it in, obviously, so I don't
Yeah.
have to. I can spare myself the embarrassment of that one. That's awesome.
So your involvement has actually gotten to be more and more, all the way down to those little cabinets that they were playing on during the stream earlier today.
That's true. Yeah, we made some really nice gaming stations, complete with LEDs, lots of room for multiple consoles, switchers, internet lines, all that stuff. It's all streamlined out of 2 cables. They roll around. They're really nice and compact. Still a 24-inch monitor. It's the exact same monitors from Let's Play. We essentially made the Let's Play stations in a miniature form so that we could be really compact and more mobile.
Well, I mean, I know it makes their job a hell of a lot easier as far as the cord wrangling and just organizing everything. Because good Lord, when you're having to do everything in, what is it, quintuplet?
Yeah, I mean, it's usually 4 or 5 people. It's usually like 2 on 2, typically. So
Yeah.
we made 4, but we're gonna make a 5th one just because we know we have 5 achievement hunters, or at least the basic 5. Okay. Oh, I say. Oh,
Please do your best to be inoffensive when describing someone of a different nationality, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you kindly.
Yes, take note of my last name, LaPorte.
It means the door, which is interesting. I actually didn't get that until, I don't know, a couple of days ago when I said your name like that. And I was like, oh my God, are you kidding me?
Yeah, my Twitter handle is surprisingly not cryptic at all, and you just have to sort of do a little translating there.
Yeah.
And my middle name's Gray, so there you go.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's perfect when you really kind of bring it down. But most people just kind of skip right out past it, as you tend to do on Twitter.
Yeah, no worries. That sounds about right. Oh, let's see. Okay, what's the real title? Oh, no. Even that.
Yeah, I know. Is it the
Damn.
portmanteau, or is it 2 words?
I don't know.
Or is it not any of the above? I mean, it could not be any of those, and 2 people just happen to.
I'm gonna change my guess, even though I thought mine would have been right, but apparently it wasn't, or it would have told me.
Nope, but you gave points to 2 people, so good job being economical.
I saved a space.
And I gave points back to you. You're welcome. So what are some of the more interesting props that you've been able to make for RT so far?
Oh,
in your opinion?
Well, let's see. We started out. We made all the swords for iBlade. I would say the most interesting things that I've made for Rooster Teeth would definitely be Laser Team at this point.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, we spent a good month on those things. There's lots of LEDs, lots of little electronics.
I'll bet you are just salivating to get that information out to the public. Like,
well, I mean, it's like this. Every project I've ever done, there's always a delay. There's never not a time when I can't just go show people right out of the shoot. I have to wait. And,
right.
And I've gotten some training on that, and it's
yeah,
it goes.
That's true. That is very true. It's part of the process. You have to let the other people do their work before you can boast about your work, because your work comes before the rest of it. I mean, that's most. Go ahead.
In the past, I haven't. I'm very behind the scenes, and a lot of the projects that I've worked on don't necessarily have a fan base that cares about the crew. They just mostly care about the cast and the director and whatnot, and that's the extent of it. So to have a fan base, actually care about what I do behind the scenes is really cool. So,
well,
yeah.
I mean, the thing is, the work kind of reflects itself, and Archie is one of those companies that lets the work shine through and credits where credit is due. When you make something like that blunderbuss out of another weapon that we had used in the short, and literally a vuvuzela that you've just painted a little bit, that kind of becomes very interesting.
Yeah, well,
and very laud-worthy.
That's like a classic technique, which is, it's called kit bashing, and you just sort of take found items that you have around and turn them into the thing that you need. So we had purchased a couple of little props that we thought we would use, and we weren't sure, and we had them around. But the requests for came in differently than the stuff that we had. So the idea was to just sort of make our own, and here are the things that I'm going to use. Yeah. So we kind of took the best parts off of all the things that we had around and tried to make one really cool gun.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Poor Chris having saw through that metal bar of the other gun to put something on there. Oh my
yeah.
God. I mean, when
Yeah.
you're doing that kind of in the field work, do you have a certain mentality going into the project? Is there like a willingness to bend that you just have to have walking in?
Well, I mean, usually I try to come with, there's never any way to account for, you know, the things that a shoot's going to throw at you. There's never really any way to know. So you just try to arrive with as many things as possible that you think you can make anything.
Yeah.
So plumber's putty is a good sculpting material. It can be whatever I want. It hardens in about 10 minutes. So if you know how to sculpt, you could make a hand prop pretty quick with some of that stuff.
Right.
So I usually try to have a lot of that around. Super glue is always a universal fix. That stuff's great. And then to have a basic toolkit. And I feel like as long as I have some of that around, you know, there's a good chance that I'm going to be able to make whatever we need.
Fair enough. But that requires such a myriad of skills that have to be picked up over a long period of time. Like, is there a school for art design?
Well, I mean, yes and no. There are some schools now that offer some programs, but when I was in school, there wasn't. So I got my talent as a studio artist. I tried to focus my skills with building and sculpting and painting and drawing and all the little, you know, all the crafts of art. And I felt like if I had a really good understanding of how to make art or how to make things in general, that would be the best way to get, you know, to understand how to do stuff. The art direction kind of came with experience and just sort of managing people and working with other artists and seeing their strong points and knowing who to hire where and you know, just sort of having a knack for understanding design in general. Color, having a good understanding of color theory is really important.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, some of this is learned behavior. Others is just sort of instinct. It's quite a combination of things, but yeah, there's no real art direction program, and if there is, I would kind of question it. You know,
Exactly. Because,
yeah.
like I said, it just requires such a wide variety of skills that you kind of have to pick up either through experience or just by having that natural curiosity about the way things work and understanding how it all fits together. That I think kind of has to come first. The love of craft as a whole. Does that make any sense?
Oh yeah, no, I mean that's really my real passion is just making things. I just happen to find a really good industry that can support that sort of need.
That you can literally one day make, here's a pistol, like that looks realistic and everything. Here's a spaceship out of nothing. Here's, you know, like literally anything. One week you could be making doctor's props on a set and having to do fake blood out of a torso. The next week you could be having to blow up alien heads. I mean, it kind of doesn't get much better than that.
It's pretty cool. I mean, I spent a long time, you know, trying to figure out a way to do this, and it's worked really well. Mm-hmm. So I've gotten extremely lucky in the fact that I had some very good opportunities come my way, but at the same time, you know, and this is stuff I answered before, was just, you know, you have to work really hard to be prepared for those opportunities, and if you're not, you know, then it's there's not a whole lot you can do about it. If you're not prepared to go full blast from the moment that the film industry finds you, you know, they're going to chew you up. It's not going to be fun. So
you are 100% correct, and that's what they require of you is 100% at all times.
Yeah, I mean, I was messing with some electronics last night up until about midnight. So, and I went in at about 10. So I put in a 14-hour day yesterday. So
wow. And you're going to turn around and do it again tomorrow.
Yes, yeah, and then we start all over tomorrow and we do the actual shooting portion.
Yeah.
You know, prep's always kind of a stressful time because you've got to actually find the stuff that you need, and typically it's not always easy. And you don't have shipping time. You know, it's like, oh, you just order it from Amazon. It's like, well, no, they want it tomorrow. You know,
ain't that the ruddy truth? Especially with most of the most of the RT products, I don't think I'm revealing anything to say that they kind of happen on very short notice.
They do. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of lead out time. I'm definitely always at the mercy of shipping time and like what can we really do? You know, here's the thing, we don't have any limitations artistically or art design wise. The only thing that keeps us from doing what we want to do is time and money. So,
Right.
you know, it's like if we don't have the time, then we need the money, and if we don't have the money, then we need the time, and those two things don't always line up.
Which I think is one thing that's going to make Laser Team such an interesting comparison because you actually did have the time.
Yes, well, sort of. I mean,
More so than usual.
yes, we had a lot more time than usual. I spent a matter of, you know, some months actually just doing concept design and drawing for them. So yes, I definitely had more time there than we've had for any other Rooster Teeth project. But at the same time, we changed our schedule 2 weeks into prep. So it meant that instead of being prepared for what we thought was day one, you know, day one's now day 40, and it's the last day, and everything that we had been doing up until that moment is now in the wrong direction.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember all that.
Yeah, so basically we only had 2 weeks to make those props. And if you have any experience in prop building, 2 weeks is not a very long time to make any one thing. So the fact that we made that whole suit in about 2 weeks was pretty crazy.
Yeah. I really love a lot of the art that came out of it too, like the posters that they gave away for the extra live stream.
Oh yeah, yeah. John did a beautiful job. And,
Absolutely.
And, you know, what a great way to sort of, you know, keep the buzz alive for our project and keep people interested. And yeah, Rooster Teeth's really cool. There's a lot of really creative people there. John being one of them, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, like give us what has your experience been at the company? I know you probably can't say too much because there's a lot of projects upcoming, but like, has it been mostly a good experience?
Oh, absolutely. It's been a great experience. I really feel like part of a family now. And before now, being a freelancer, I didn't really feel like anyone. You know, I didn't feel like I belonged anywhere. You know, I kind of likened myself to a carny. You know, it was just kind of like
you pick up and pack up and move on to the next town.
Yeah, I mean, granted, I was doing it in Austin, but I was constantly working for another production company that were rising and falling.
Yeah.
Production companies come and go. I've probably worked for over 100 different companies in the last decade.
Wow.
You know, at least 10 new companies a year, guaranteed. You know,
What?
and so
No,
yeah.
I'll ask that question.
It's hard to watch a production company that you really like working for, you know, basically fall apart. And most of the commercial production companies do that.
Yeah.
You know, they have 3 or 4 really good years, and then things just kind of fade away, and the calls stop, and you wonder where the money's coming next. So yeah, being with Rooster Teeth has been a great experience. They certainly have a solid footing in the media industry, and I'm certainly having a very, very good time. Bernie and Matt have been more than accommodating. Those guys are so nice. So,
Yeah. Let's see here. All right, well, that finishes out our first game. I feel like that one just kind of flew right on by. It's actually been about 40 some odd minutes so far. We're booking right along, ladies and germs. We're gonna play through another game here in just a moment, but I'm gonna give myself a moment to use the restroom and have a moment of break to get this out of my ear. And when we come back, we'll play another game of Drawful and continue to talk a little bit more with my guest, Marcus LaPorte. Is there anything you want to say before we get out of here?
No, this is good. I'm willing to hang out with you as long as you want, man. So
Excellent. Excellent. All right, we will be back in just a couple of minutes with more Drawful. Thank you so much for hanging out. We'll be right back. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the show. Remember to join us every other Saturday so you can play games with us live and in person. I hope you enjoyed this first part of our little chat with Marcus. The second half should be up shortly, or if you're watching this far in the future, ooh, you're in the future. And as always, we'll see you next time. Ah, there we go. Can you hear me now? Apparently, I was just straight up muted. Excellent. Let's try that one more time.